Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Write Ambitions podcast, where I discuss word usage, grammar, writing, and editing. I'm your host, Jenny Watts. Thank you for joining me today. And today I would like to talk about writing, specifically about parallelism in writing. So I'm not going to lie, this topic actually came to me last week as an idea to cover in this podcast because my sister called me and she was helping her grandson with his homework. And his homework involved a reading passage where the assignment was to identify parallel structure in the passage that they had to read. And my sister, sort of got it, but then sort of didn't. And in her defense, she got all of the math genes in the family, and I got all of the word genes. So, if I ever need anything, math related, which is often, I will call her. Or my other sister, because they both got the math genes, but that's a different story. So I got the word genes, so she called me about the parallelism question, and I answered it. So I thought, what a great topic to cover. So let's talk about parallelism. So the word parallel in itself means extending in the same direction, everywhere equidistant, and not meeting. Like when you parallel park. You park next to the curb, parallel to it. Or in math, it refers to items like lines that are the same distance apart and not touching, like in an equal sign. So let's keep that word equal in mind when we're talking about parallelism in writing. So parallelism in writing refers to the use of the same or similar grammatical elements. The same or similar in their construction, their sound, their meaning. Why is it important? Parallelism is important because it helps with balance and with flow. It makes your writing easier to read. It makes your message easier to understand. So let's take lists as an example. Lists are a great way to showcase the use of parallelism. So when you're writing out a list, each item should begin with the same part of speech, a noun, a verb, an adjective, etc. Otherwise, it's off balance. It's askew. So let's write out a grocery list, for example. So we have bananas, eggs, and pick up a carton of milk. Now this list is not parallel because the first two items, bananas and eggs, are nouns. The third item, however, does not begin with a noun. So it's not parallel. So what we need to do is revise it to make it parallel. Now, how do we do that? This is pretty simple. So we just eliminate pick up a carton of, and instead just add milk to the list. So now our list reads bananas, eggs, milk. Parallel, happiness. So parallelism doesn't just appear in the lists, though. It's everywhere. Think of some common phrases like easy come, easy go. That's parallel. And parallelism makes it easy to understand. It makes it easy to remember. If, for example, the saying were easy come and it goes away just as quick, that wouldn't be quite as catchy and it wouldn't carry the same kind of punch. So, easy come, easy go. Or maybe you're writing a sentence that describes someone's hobbies. You could write, she likes swimming, horseback riding, and spends time in the park with her dog. Again, this is not parallel. So you would just need to change the last part of that sentence to spending time in the park with her dog, and the sentence would be balanced and would be parallel. So great writing and great speeches include parallelism. Here are some examples. My fellow Americans, ask not what your country can do for you. Ask what you can do for your country. That's a parallel idea. It's balanced. One small step for man, one giant step for mankind. One giant leap for mankind. Sorry, my bad. So again, that's parallel. One of the greatest uses of parallelism and way to look at parallelism is in A Tale of Two Cities by Charles Dickens. The beginning paragraph of that novel is just a great exercise in parallel writing. So here it is. It was the best of times. It was the worst of times. It was the age of wisdom. It was the age of foolishness. It was the epoch of belief. It was the epoch of incredulity. It was the season of light. It was the season of darkness. It was the spring of hope. It was the winter of despair. We had everything before us. We had nothing before us. We were all going direct to heaven. We were all going direct the other way. So the use of parallelism can be found everywhere, in speeches, in writing, in song lyrics, in poetry. Parallelism helps you balance out the ideas, and it makes your writing flow. It creates a rhythm and a cadence to your writing, and it helps your writing dance. What I call dancing in writing is when it's got, a certain flow to it. I give it a 45 and I can dance to it. You're probably all too young to remember that. Anyway, so just remember to balance out your writing with parallel parts of speech and parallel elements. And your writing will flow, it will dance, and it will be balanced. So that's all for now. Thank you for joining me, and I'll see you next time.